Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good. Because after all, that's what we want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. Today on the show, we'll be visiting with artist Sarah Haslinger, who has created all sorts of really cool art. You've likely seen one of her pieces if you ever strolled downtown Wenatchee. It's a massive mural that spells out "Greetings Wenatchee" in brilliant colors and images. I saw some photos of her installing the art and thought it'd be fun to have her on the show. So stick around and let's talk to her about that. But before we get to that, I want to remind you that if you have questions you would like us to answer on or off the air, you can email those directly to me at fletcherellingson.com. And you can also visit me on my website, fletcherellingson.com. There you can find all sorts of free resources. You can take the happiness survey or get my free video course called Your Life Is Now. Lots of good stuff. You don't need to suffer and try to figure out everything on your own. There are answers and solutions and ways to get unstuck and move forward powerfully. Now, before we meet with Sarah, let's answer the email question. Today it says, "Dear Fletcher, I'm in my mid-50s and I've noticed that my body is just not how it used to be." Big surprise, right? "I've lost muscle mass. My cardio is not where it used to be, and my once good mobility is now strained and diminished. It's disconcerting. The thing is, I don't like working out. I don't exercise for the sake of exercise. I'm active playing sports and walking, but that doesn't do much for strength and mobility. I've made several attempts to do things like getting to the gym or working out at home, but honestly, I just don't make it happen. I need to do this though. I don't want to do it, but I need to. Any suggestions on how I can be better at this?" Signed, DW. First of all, DW, thanks for reaching out. Reaching out is a sign of strength, and that means you are strong. So I've got to tell you that your predicament really hits home because I'm in the same boat as you. I'm also in my 50s, and you know the expression, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, that definitely is the case. In fact, even if you use it, you still lose some of it. That's just what happens with aging, right? That's why I said big surprise. So I'm going to share with you what I have been doing, and I hope it's helpful to you. Like you, I've been a pretty active person. I enjoy a lot of outdoor recreation like biking, swimming, running, pickleball. I love being outdoors. I love being active. But what I have never found enjoyable is strength training. Up until very recently, I've never even had a gym membership. I've never owned weights for my home or any sort of strength training equipment. But just as you found your body changing in your 50s, so have I. And I have recognized that my strength has diminished, as has my mobility. And I have to say, this is pretty alarming. So a few months ago, my wife and I got some dumbbells for our home, and we started working with them, just baby steps. And I got to tell you, I didn't enjoy it, but I did begin to see some results. We committed to just 3 times a week, and anything beyond that was a bonus. But after a number of weeks, I realized that what I really needed was more than dumbbells. And so for the first time in my life, I joined a gym. And I've got to tell you, it's been a game changer for me. I still don't love it, but I don't hate it. In fact, it's growing on me. And what I like about the gym is that there are other people there. And that's motivating to me. I like seeing people take care of themselves. I like having that modeled for me in my life. It inspires me to do the same. And if I have questions, there are usually knowledgeable people there that can answer my questions. I like using the machines because these machines, they exercise a very specific group of muscles. And so I know which muscles are getting worked out. I don't have to hope I'm exercising the correct muscles. And something that also works for me is having accountability. I set up accountability in my life because if I have accountability, I'm way more likely to do that which I said I would do. So my recommendation for you is to get some high level accountability. Find a workout partner, or at the very least, commit to someone and put something at stake. What do I mean by that? I mean, create a consequence that will benefit someone else and cause discomfort for you. if you fail to keep your word. Let's say you want to work out a minimum of 3 times a week. Commit to your friend or someone in your family that you're going to do this for a minimum of 2 months, which will help you be in it long enough to create some sort of routine and habit. But if you fail to be your word, there will be a consequence. Now, the trick is to make it a consequence that you don't want to have to experience. Maybe you commit to clean the house for the next 3 months by yourself, or whatever chores you don't enjoy doing. Or give one of your children $500 cash, and you can only get it back after you have kept your word for the entire time. If you don't keep your word, they get to keep it. It's got to be something that has some sting to it in the event that you don't keep your word. For me, keeping my word is really important, and that's why I have a lot of accountability in my life. I have coaches, friends, and definitely my wife. Accountability works. So get some accountability, create some painful consequences, and also focus on how good you're going to feel in your body when you build up some more strength and mobility. Being strong and healthy feels so good. So get into action and go for it. I know you can do this, and I believe in you. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick around because in just a moment we're going to talk art and inspiration with Sarah Haslinger. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here. So glad you're in this conversation. As you know, I think the conversation around mindset is super important, so thanks for being here. Today, we're talking with Sarah Haslinger. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Hey, we're going to talk about the mural that you created for the city of Wenatchee, which is super cool. But before we do that, we always start off with what's going well in life or a win. So share something that's going well for you.
I would say the first thing that comes to mind is being healthy. Our whole family got the flu, so I just feel so grateful to feel healthy.
Yeah.
But the other thing is art. I've just had 2 really inspiring and great community projects that make me feel, like a part of Wenatchee.
Right on. So there must be one that I don't know about, obviously. Which one is that?
So, I just finished the mural downtown, but then there was actually a project that was before it, and I had to put it behind it. But it's for Link Transit, and I'm making a mascot. So there's a long story behind it. It's a duck, and he lives in Manson, and he has a little he's named Chip because he has a chip out of his bill, and the bus driver befriended him. And anyways, so they hired me.
Is this a real duck?
It's a real duck, but I'm making a mascot version of him.
Oh, cool.
So he'll be famous.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it. So you're making a mascot for the Link transportation.
Yeah, the bus system.
Nice.
Yeah.
And his name's going to be Chip.
Yeah. So I finished the head, and now I'm working with the seamstress to do the full costume.
All right, on. Yeah. And, well, let's just dive into this right now because making the head part, you've made a lot of heads in your previous artistic life, right?
Right.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So I've done this project called Monster Love for 20 years. I started it in my final project for college, and I made this monster head. It was supposed to be for middle school kids, but so many of my friends loved it, and for all these years it's just sort of had a life of its own, and I've done amazing stuff with it, but I don't even feel like I was steering the project. And things just keep coming, and it's like Monster Love is still alive. So actually, I'm also a hairdresser, trying to end that though, but one of my clients met Selena, who works at the bus station, and told her about it, and they were like, Sarah's the one.
Oh, cool.
So it just keeps happening, and I love it.
Yeah. And have you ever recorded them? I mean, have you ever taken pictures and do you have a big catalog of all the Monster Love?
I really need to sit down and organize and I'd love to put together a book, but I mean, it's crazy the different experiences I've had. Years of when I lived in Austin, Texas, a huge crowd of people. Even I used to do these events at bars and clubs and have people come and help because they take a lot of work to do the paper mache.
Yeah.
Just last year, with all the Zooming and because of COVID, 2 people who met at one of my events down there which I was calling Monster Love, said, "We're getting married. We met at one of your events, and we loved it so much because people would make these and dance. It like really frees you up on the dance floor to be wearing a mask."
Oh, wow.
So they asked me to do a Zoom class, and their whole family made heads for their wedding, and the photos from that were just out of this world.
Oh my gosh, so for the wedding?
Yeah, it was so fun.
Oh, that is unique.
Yeah, they did wedding photos with like the whole, bridal power party with the heads on, and that's not the only wedding with Monster Love. When I moved, people bought heads and did a circus wedding, and there's so many fun experiences that this has brought me.
Yeah.
That I didn't even expect.
Have you, if people wanted to see pictures of these, are they online anywhere or?
Yeah, on my website, I have a page that you could click on that's Monster Love specifically. So
Okay.
it talks about.
And what's the website?
It's Sarah. What is my website? It's studio. Oh shoot, artworks.studio. So it's artworks with an X.
Artworks. So WORKX.
Yes.
Okay. So artworks.studio.
Yes.
Okay, you can go there, check out the Monster Love. It really is impressive. That's so cool. So a lot of people, a lot of people are involved with art. You're one of the few people, like, in my mind, I'm like, Sarah, oh yeah, she's like artist. She's an artist. Does that resonate with you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I went to school to be a teacher, and I really don't feel that I'm a teacher type, but I do. People often say, like, oh, I'm not an artist. And I'm like, if you like art in any way, you're an artist. Like, don't hold back on that, I don't think, that's in any way a negative. Like, you have to be a certain way or good at certain thing to be called that. But yeah, I really, that's the thing that I'm the best at, is doing creative things with materials and processes. So
Yeah.
I would not be happy doing anything else.
Yeah. Have you always been that way? I mean, as a kid?
Always. And I think part of it is I like to make things better, and I like to not waste. And so my whole life, I have to be honest, like, we didn't, when I was a kid, live in really nice places and stuff, and I always fixed everything up and made it like an amazing, beautiful place. And that became like a real skill. Might be my Aries spirit too. I love to start stuff and I'm like a spring person, like get it, jump in. I don't have to know how to do something. I'll just be like, yes, I'll do it. Okay. And then figure it out. The pain comes in and the challenge, but I think I also just really like to finish and complete things. I don't like things to be wasted. So it's that, appreciation of things. So that's where I think the completion part is pretty important.
Yeah.
I like to feel I've achieved.
Yeah, you like that accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So there's this element of beautification, it sounds like, as well.
Definitely. And I'd say, like, equal with that is I really like to, I guess it's bringing joy. It's really making a difference. It's about connecting with people. People are my most inspiring thing. Feeling a part of something and connecting, like with this mural downtown. I did most of it in the basement in parts. And when I did the install, I had to adjust a lot. So I was up on the scaffolding, and my partner Joss made a comment saying, you don't get this in the basement, because people were awesome and pumping their horns.
Yeah.
And I got so much connection and comments, positivity.
You know what I love about that is that here you are beautifying. I mean, it really is a work of beautification, right?
Yeah.
And it's just exactly what you said. It causes connection. Just as a result, you're just there doing your thing, and people are walking by, driving by, connecting with you, and connecting with the art that you created. Like, it's so cool that exists, and you're able to facilitate that. You're able to facilitate connection with perfect strangers.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
And I love that part what you said about joy, because it brings joy, because art really does I mean, it evokes so many emotions, but joy being one of them, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think, I get joy through the process of doing art myself, but one of the things is I'm a social person, and connecting with people, sometimes that I'm longing for that. And when I get it, it's just like, oh, the heavens have come and opened up, and I am like, yes, because it is often, difficult being an artist and feeling like, am I making a difference?
Yeah.
But when I see that, my heart is so filled.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I should say, there was so many moments, but can I say two that were really important to me?
Yeah, actually, let's take a quick break,
Okay.
and then so hold on to that thought,
Okay.
and then we'll come back, so stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here. We're talking today with Sarah Hasslinger, who is an artist here in Wenatchee and just finished the install recently for the Greetings Wenatchee mural downtown, and is working on a new one, Chip, right?
Yeah.
But you were about to share a couple cool things about about being an artist and what that means to you. Go ahead.
Well, specifically the experience with installing that mural.
Yeah.
Two really striking experiences was one, a little 12-year-old boy got out of the car mid-installation, and I'm working up on the scaffolding, and he comes out and he just looks at it and he gasps and he says, "This is what the world needs." Color.
Gosh, really?
Yeah, and his family comes out and, they liked it, but he was just, and I just, oh my gosh, okay, I've succeeded.
Oh.
And his cute little face, and he was just awesome. So him, and then Ed, the sign guy who did the old mural downtown, I hadn't met him, and I was working, and it was late, the streetlights were on, nobody was around, and I was just still trying to finish, and all of a sudden this car pulls up, and this older gentleman comes out, and I'm like, what's he? And he says, "Hi, I'm Ed," and I have to say, I love this mural. And the fact that, he wasn't bothered that I was covering up his old mural, because his mural's underneath it.
Yeah.
And he just was like, "I love to think in 100 years, they'll take this down and see my mural," and he thought it was cool. And I just really, I love those two connections.
Yeah.
So.
I love what that little kid said. This is what the world needs. Color. Yeah. That's so great. That's what a great memory for yourself.
Yeah.
And the mural, tell everybody where the mural is in case they haven't seen it.
So it's on Wenatchee Avenue, right in between Cafe Mela and the Antique Mall.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been, previously there was a mural there, right?
Yes.
And now yours is there in its place. I don't even know what's behind there.
I don't know when it happened, but a building burned down. I'm guessing in the maybe 60s. I don't know, but it burned down. It's owned by the Antique Mall, and so it's just a parking lot. And then there's a little area of patio area where the Antique Mall sells stuff.
Okay, got it.
It's like it's a facade basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear a little bit about the process. We just have a few minutes left, but how big is the piece? Do you know?
It's 48 feet wide and 16 feet tall, and it took 24 4x8 panels.
Wow.
So if you think of plywood sheets.
Yeah. So, and what are the panels made of?
It's actually ACM, aluminum composite material, which I did a lot of research and decided to go that route, and I was very glad I did. It's what they use to do road signs, and so it doesn't delaminate, it lasts forever. It's really cool stuff, and lightweight.
And had you ever used that before?
No, so I took a risk, and but I did a lot of calls, and I feel really confident and excited to work with the material more.
Yeah. Have you ever created a piece of art this size before?
Pretty similar, but not with this, the font and the detail. But I just did another one right before in spring in Chelan, about
Which
the
one?
same size. You can't see it. It's a private residence, but it's like a 3-tiered boat launch kind of amphitheater. So if you're
Really?
if you're ever on a paddleboard or something, you should go by. It's in. I can't think of where that area on the side of Chelan is.
The channel, by Riverwalk?
When you're first driving past Pat and Mike's and you're in
Oh, yeah.
by Roots Community School there across the street, there's a house there.
Over by Lakeside.
Yeah, Lakeside. Sorry, I was blanking on that.
Wow. So somebody hired you to do a big installation for
It's
their private home?
Yeah, it's really
Wow.
cool. I've had a lot of people say, like, they've been on boats, and like the Campbells, they told me, oh, we know they go by there. A lot of people have said, we just love it's a very cheerful, upbeat mural too. So
Oh, I gotta check that out.
yeah,
Oh.
I was glad I did that one before I did this one, because it kind of was like I call it the rabbi technique. It's like you make things worse and then you go back and things are easier.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to drive there every day and haul things and set up in the heat and outside. And this
Yeah.
one was a lot easier because I worked in my basement and then could put it up. So
How long did the one in Chelan take you?
that took me about 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, it was more like 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, I believe it. I mean, that is, it's pretty elaborate, right?
It was, and I was doing other things in between, so,
Yeah.
But
And then you had Josta help you put it up on the street front there.
right, well, we hired him, and so, yeah, it's good to have a carpenter partner.
Yeah, right on. Very cool. So you're doing chip, and then what? Anything next for you?
Yeah, well, this one in Wenatchee was great because it really connected me in, and I have a few other things on the horizon, really community ones that I'm very excited about. There is one in my neighborhood, in this neighborhood, near downtown, and I'm working with a local school and some different things to get a grant to do it because it's more in not highly funded job or lower income cut type thing, but
Gotcha.
it can really make a difference in the neighborhood.
That's so cool. And what you just said too, making a difference. Sometimes people don't realize like the difference that art does make, but if you imagine like no art anywhere, like how boring and dreary and kind of depressing life would be. So it's so cool that you get to make a difference. Like,
Yeah, and having my art education history, it's just the practice of being able to imagine something different too. I mean, that exercise, not always making something that, because we have to make a lot of things to achieve the masterpieces, but it's the muscle of imagining that I think is really beautiful.
I love that. Yeah, in my work as a coach, my curriculum is called The Practice of Feeling Good, and I love what you just said. It's the practice of imagining, right? It's building up that muscle, which can get pretty lazy at times if we are not intentional about like, let me think about something that's different. Let me reimagine that, what could be. And so that's the kind of the work exercise you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, it's jumping in and sometimes failing a lot.
Yeah.
But keep practicing and jumping in.
Yeah.
And it is fun. Even if it's like scary or frustrating, when you get the wins, it's like, yes, I'm gonna do it again.
Oh shucks, we're almost out of time.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask: is there a particular muse that you have? Is there like, is it music? Is it?
It's really just people for me.
Yeah.
It's the excitement and the joy that I see and I receive back from people when I put my art out.
Yeah, inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, I got to wrap it up. So good talking with you. Thank you for the artwork that you're blessing our community with.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and now it's time for you to get out there. Be a source of kindness, be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.